Senator Elizabeth Warren and over 20 other senators are working with President Biden to advance abortion on demand. A recent letter to the president signed by these senators demands that executive action be taken to cement in extreme pro-abortion policies. Their requests would essentially weaponize the Department of Health and Human Services in favor of the abortion lobby. Some of their demands include increasing dangerous chemical abortions, more insurance coverage for abortions, hiring more people to promote abortion, and designating federal property for new abortion facilities. And joining me now for more details on this is Erik Rosales, Capitol Hill correspondent for EWTN News Nightly. Erik, thanks for joining me. Tell me what you know about this recent letter that pro-abortion senators directed to President Biden. Is there a chance that he fulfills any of these requests?
Well, I tell you what, Prudence, we're all hoping that they won't actually have any chance of making it here. But yeah, more than 24 Democratic senators, they really want to have President Biden sign these executive orders. And these are executive orders that can only be taken away if they are deemed unlawful. Basically, what they want is President Biden to come out with a nationwide abortion plan. And as you mentioned, it is led by Senators Patty Murray and Elizabeth Warren. And yeah, they want to be able to have more access to these prescription abortion pills, to be able to use money for transportation so that if someone needs to be able to go to another state to have an abortion performed, that the federal government will give them money so that they can be able to ride a train, get on a bus, or get on a plane. And they also want to be able to use federal money to be able to fund access to these abortions on federal land. That would mean that you would be able to have taxpayer money being used, such as on military bases, in order to perform abortions. This is something that we haven't seen in the last 30 to 40 years.
It's just astounding. And I know that you've spoken with Republicans in the House and the Senate on this. What did they have to say? Are they taking any action?
Well, I tell you what, I spoke with members of the Pro-Life Caucus and also the Freedom Caucus, and they're going to fight this with tooth and nail. They say that, you know, these executive actions, like I mentioned, the only way that they can actually be taken away is if they're deemed unlawful. So they plan to be able to bring lawsuits on the federal level, and then they're also asking their governors on the state level to be able to file lawsuits. And who knows, this may be an issue that if President Biden does do these executive orders, that would go all the way to the Supreme Court.
Very interesting. And based on some recent statements from Chuck Schumer, it seems like Senate Democrats are still focused on codifying the so-called Women's Health Protection Act, which many have taken to calling the Abortion on Demand Act. Can you remind us just how extreme this bill is?
Yeah, this is so extreme. I mean, this is abortion on demand. You know, it's failed in both the House and the Senate. Well, it's failed in both the House and the Senate just last year, twice. This is abortion on demand. This is even abortion after the baby is born. Minutes after the baby is born, you can end up deciding on whether or not you want this child to live or die. And several even pro-abortion Republican senators like Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins, they have decided not to support this bill. And another reason that they say is because there's no conscious protections in it. They said that they would support codifying Roe, but without any conscious protections for doctors to prevent them from performing these abortions because of conscious protection rights, or whether or not they don't want to be able to have abortion on demand even after the baby is born. That is the reason why these Catholic senators have decided to vote against it. Even Democratic Senator Joe Manchin has decided that he is not going to support this because of the lack of conscious protection rights for doctors.
Well, that's encouraging at least. And you've reported that Senate Democrats have told you all of these pushes for more abortion are just the starting points for them. How much more extreme can they get, though?
Well, I tell you what, they say, I asked Senator Schumer during one of the press conferences, it's still the mission of the Democratic Party to codify Roe, and he says yes. If the Women's Health Protection Act does not pass, Senator Murray and a bunch of other senators, Senator Warren, are going to continue to try other measures to try and get these passed. If not, that is why they are asking President Biden to do the executive orders. But again, Republicans are hoping that come November that they'll be able to win the House and the Senate, and they'll be able to push more of these pro-life agenda and get them passed. Of course, when it heads to the president's desk, more than likely they will just be vetoed.
Well, it's unfortunate to see these Senate Democrats making these moves when we see so much pro-life momentum. And Erik, aside from abortion, what else is top of mind for lawmakers on Capitol Hill right now?
Well, of course, with the recent shootings that took place in Uvalde, gun control is still a major issue up here, along with more COVID relief. And the Build Back Better plan, they actually want to be able to piece that together and separate that into little bills to be able to have everything from climate change to reducing the deficit. They want to be able to pass those bills so that both sides, so that they can be able to get some relief for the American people. You know, a lot of the Republicans are saying that this inflation that we're seeing across the board, everything from gas prices to the border crisis, these are all the result of President Biden's policies. And they say that until President Biden goes back to changing some of these policies, that there's no way that we're going to continue to see this inflation continue on up until even next year. So we're all kind of counting our pennies right now, trying to just make sure. But we're going to continue to stay on the pro-life issue up here on Capitol Hill and bring you the very latest on the developments of that. Well,
thank you so much for that, and you're reporting each and every day. Erik Rosales of EWTN News Nightly.
Thank you.